You just opened ClickUp, saw 1,000 options, and immediately thought, where do I even start? You're not the only one in this. ClickUp aims to be the one and only app that replaces them all, and their application is incredibly powerful, but all of these options can feel slightly overwhelming when you start using ClickUp. I made this video for you to cut right through the noise, and in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you everything you need to know to understand how ClickUp works and to set up your very first working project. And the best part, we are going to do this on their genuinely powerful free forever plan. Let's get started. Okay, so the most important concept to understand is ClickUp's hierarchy. It's the absolute key to everything. And the best way to think about it is like a set of Russian nesting dolls or a really organized digital filing cabinet. It's a system where every piece of work has its own logical place. And if we show this in a simple graphic, you can see the workspace in the left top, and this is your entire company or your whole life if you use it for private projects. And inside this workspace, you can create spaces, and these are the big drawers in your cabinet. For example, work, personal, or marketing. And on ClickUp's free plan, you get 5 spaces, which is plenty for small to medium projects. Inside a space, we have folders which we quickly skip and lists, and these are the file folders where your tasks actually live. And a list could be blog content or, for example, a house renovation project. And within these lists, you have tasks, and if you want to break it up even further, you can create subtasks as well. Now, you can also add folders to organize your lists, but here's my single biggest piece of advice for beginners: just don't. It's very tempting to create a super complex structure, but just don't do this. Start simple. For today, we are only going to use workspace, space, a list, and tasks. We just keep it simple, and that's it. So from ClickUp's landing page, the sign up is pretty straightforward. We just press the Get Started for Free button, fill our email address. We need to fill a few details about ourselves and create our password or continue using Google. You will receive an OTP password which you can fill here, so we go ahead and quickly do this. And you will be asked a few multiple choice questions where you're going to use ClickUp for. In our example, we're going to use it for work, for our startup project. We heard about ClickUp through our search engine. I will not invite any other people to my workspace at this point, so I will simply skip this step. I am already using several tools which are displayed here, so I'm going to select Figma and Google Drive. Don't worry too much about selecting your tools here. You can always do this at a later stage from within your workspace. And that's actually the same for the features which you are asked in the next step. Don't worry too much, select what you think is right, and the rest we can do from our workspace. The name of your workspace is already pre-filled from your details. I'm happy with Bart's workspace, so I'm gonna now finish my setup. We wait a few moments for ClickUp to finalize our workspace, and there we go, easy does it. We have now set up our ClickUp workspace. There's a nice introduction video shown to you. Feel free to watch this if you got a few minutes. I'm just gonna skip this and dive right in. And here we are in our workspace, and you can see that ClickUp already set up a handful of example tasks. It can be useful, this example space, but since we are gonna build our very own project, we are just gonna delete this space entirely. And don't be afraid to mess something up. There are loads of example templates available in ClickUp, so you can always grab another template at a later stage if you accidentally deleted a space or list. So here you can see we are in our empty main workspace, Bart's workspace in this case, which we have set up for our startup project, and the workspace holds our entire company. Eventually, this workspace will have spaces like marketing, development, finances, etc. In this example, we're going to create a company projects workspace, which is dedicated for one-off internal projects to build our business. For example, we start off by launching our website, and later on we can add other projects like setting up a new office or hire our first intern, etc. And those we all count as one-off internal projects. And quickly thinking back of our example earlier, this is the big drawer in our filing cabinet, reserved for big one-time initiatives like this. So we're going to go ahead and select a new space and we're going to name it Company Projects. In the description, we fill one of internal projects and press continue. And after creating a new space, we are asked to define our workflow. And similar like I mentioned to you earlier, if you don't know exactly what to select, don't stress about it too much. Just select what you think is right, and you can always correct this later on from within your space. The core differences in these are the different views which are selected. For example, for the project management workflow, we can see that the list, board, team, calendar, and Gantt views are included. And you can see the task statuses are quite extensive, which we don't all need for our internal projects. So I'm just going to select starter in our case. And if it appears insufficient at a later stage, I can always change this from within my space. So let's go ahead and create our space. And you can see that automatically a list is created for us. But instead of using one giant confusing list, we're going to split this up. We are going to create 3 separate lists for each type of work. This way the designer of a logo isn't getting mixed up with the go live tasks and vice versa. And we can change the name of the list by clicking on the 3 dots that appear here upon hovering. So we're going to call this list Branding and Assets. And clicking on this plus icon of the company project space, we can create our additional lists. So the second list we call website pages. For this list, we add the description content for each individual website page. We press continue. And you can see that the name website pages triggered some very handy AI suggestions within ClickUp. So for the example, let's go ahead and apply the suggestions ClickUp gave me. And this is actually a very handy feature within ClickUp, which helps me save a fair bit of time setting up all the different statuses. As a third list, we're going to add the list technical and go live tasks. And these are all our backend and launch steps. And we can see that we get another AI suggestion from ClickUp, but in this case, we want to keep it simple and press no thanks. And similar to the branding and assets list, this will create a simple to-do, in progress and complete status. And we can at any time change the statuses through the 3 dots displayed next to one of the statuses in my list. And after pressing edit statuses, we can see the current statuses within this list. We can select use custom statuses here to swap these out for our custom statuses, where we can then add statuses, change names, change colors, etc. So let's just have a quick look at the example we applied from the AI suggestion within ClickUp for the website. So you can already see that there are more statuses available here, from to do, in progress, in review, updates needed, cancelled, to a closed task live page. For the development of our website, these additional statuses are pretty handy, so I will leave this list as it is. And the other lists, I'm gonna keep simple in this example and simply start working with the 3 statuses they currently have. So let's now start creating the tasks within each individual list. We start off with branding and assets. We click on add task under the to-do status to add a new task. We write our task name down, in this case design logo version 1, and we click save. And let's go ahead and enter the remaining tasks for the branding and assets list. And there we go, we have added the remaining tasks as well: the finalize company color palette, write company mission statement and tagline, and take team headshot photos. Those are the tasks for the branding and assets lists. And here you can see that I've done the same for the website pages list. I've added the tasks under the to-do status. And I've done the same thing for the technical and go live list. And you might have wondered, why do all statuses show under the website pages list? And this is a simple setting within ClickUp where we can display our empty statuses. If you prefer this view to have a clear insight in what statuses are available in this list, you can do this through the settings button in the right top and select show empty statuses. We also have one closed status, as ClickUp calls it. You might have seen this earlier when setting up the list. If you also want to display this closed status, we select the show closed tasks. And after setting this, you can see that all the 3 statuses on this page are displayed to me, even though there are no tasks listed under the status. I've now done this for the tasks under the branding and assets list, and you can always hide this again to the same settings button. And after making the changes, you can see the Save Now button here. You can then save these settings, so the next time you open a page, the settings are remembered. But instead of saving the view, we click on the arrow down, and here you can see Enable Autosave. Some people hate it, but I personally find this a very handy feature within ClickUp where my current changes and settings are automatically saved and remembered. So I'll just go ahead and enable the autosave. And as you can see, in the meantime, I've also added the remaining spaces, marketing, development, and finances. So now we've set up our spaces, lists, and tasks. Let's walk through the workflow together. So from the branding and assets list, we're going to work on the finalize company color palette ticket. We've already added content to this ticket where we present the color palette to our team. And the moment I started working on this, I of course want to change the status of this ticket. I can simply do this by clicking on the arrow in this button here, and that takes the ticket to the next status. So as you can see, it is now in progress. Alternatively, I can click on the button left from the arrow, and I can manually select one of the statuses. This can be done from within the ticket, but closing the ticket, you can see that I can also do this from a higher level directly from the list view. If I click on the status bullet, you can also see that the statuses are shown to me and I can select the next status. And as you can see, I have shown the completed statuses. And once your tickets increase, I can recommend hiding this closed status to prevent clutter with loads of tasks in your list. And this can easily be done by clicking on the close button right here, or of course through the settings what I showed you earlier. For the example, I'll click on the button again and want to see the completed status as well. So let's just put this task back in progress. And the last thing I want to show you in this tutorial is the comment section within each task. And this is a very handy feature if you're working in teams. So let me just show you this by opening the Finalize Company Color Palette task. You can already see in the activity section that my colleague has commented that he doesn't like the red color and the yellow color. Can we perhaps change this? So what I do now is I reply on this comment where I say, I have changed the two colors, please let me know if this is good to go. I present a new color palette, and if you want to make sure that your team member is notified, you can also use the add icon where you can then tag your colleague. So let's send this comment. And when this is a comment that needs to be resolved, ClickUp has another very handy feature where you can assign this comment as an action item. I can simply click on this little icon here and assign this comment to my colleague. And as you can see, there's a resolve tick box right here, so it's clear for everyone that this action item is resolved. If I now scroll down in the ticket, you can also see the assigned comments listed for you. And that keeps a very handy overview if there's a lot of comments within one ticket, what is still to do for you. And that's the end of this Productivity with Bart tutorial. Are you ready to turn ClickUp into your ultimate productivity powerhouse? Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I will post weekly new videos and exclusive templates to make your life easier and more productive. Thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.